Welcome in, Chiefs Kingdom, to Chiefs Latest, your one-stop spot for everything Kansas City Chiefs in 15 minutes or less. It is your host, Calvin Silvers. Happy Tuesday. Well, I guess not happy for all. That's right, Andy Reid had some news for Chiefs Kingdom on Monday afternoon, and it included someone being placed on IR. That's right, we're about to jump into it all, but before we do, you know the drill. If you are on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and make sure you turn on those notifications because we have daily, that's right, daily videos here at Cheifs Latest, Monday through Friday. You don't want to miss any of the news, rumors, or action, so go ahead, hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, as it not only helps me in the channel, but it's going to help you stay up to date with everything Kansas City Chiefs. Now, I mentioned that Andy Reid dropped a bombshell on Monday afternoon, saying that Felix Anudike-Uzomah's hamstring injury was more serious than we initially thought, and that is going to place him on IR, ending his 2025 season before it even legitimately started. And now we have some issues with the defensive line depth. His injury during Friday's loss to the Seahawks, where he did notch 2 solo tackles, it just marks another setback for the 2023 first rounder, who has yet to live up to any first round hype. Just 3 starts in 34 games, 41 tackles, and a terrible 58.4 PFF grade, and that was last season. He had a 31% snap count last season, only 20% his rookie season. That shows that there's a lack of trust putting him out there. The Chiefs D-line, anchored by, of course, George Karlaftis and Chris Jones, and now leans on thin options like Charles Omenihu, Malik Hearing, Ashton Gelati, and Nate Matlack. So again, there is a depth crisis there. And if you picked up his 2027 fifth-year option, that would be a mistake, given his lackluster output, now this injury, and also keeping him would involve a $3.7 million cap in 2026, but the dead cap to release him is about $1.4 million. Or looking at his trade value, which was already low due to his guaranteed rookie deal, is now non-existent. It's leaving the Chiefs to either accept a weak offer or you're hoping for a 2026 rebound. If you're looking at his career, once again, 34 games, 3 starts, 41 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, 14 QB hits, 3 sacks. PFF grades, 58.4 overall. That was 124 out of 210 edge rushers, 60.5 pass rush. That was 101st ranked, and 56.3 run defense. That was 138th. So without him, the Chiefs' depth now relies again on Omenihu. And then with unproven players, Hearing, Gelati, who's a rookie, and Matlack. They need to step up now. This is potentially forcing Spags to adjust their schemes or to seek a veteran addition, which we will get to here in a little bit. But we're likely seeing the end of the Felix Anudike-Uzomah project in KC. And now the Chiefs will have to navigate a depth crisis with very thin options. But they did make some moves. I like to use the term band-aid moves because it's not necessarily doing a lot. But again, with FAU season ending IR stint, it forced the Chiefs now to act fast. So they're bringing back their pass rusher Owen Carney and adding rookie linebacker Xander Mueller to just try to patch, again, a thinning defense. Carney is a 26-year-old, 6'3", 275-pound edge rusher. Didn't see regular season action with the Chiefs last year, but Reid's decision to reunite with him shows that there's some kind of faith and there's some kind of disruptive potential that he has. 3.5 sacks across 9 preseason games with the Dolphins, Bengals, and Chiefs prove that he can generate pressure. It's there, but Chiefs are again putting a Band-Aid on the situation. Mueller, a 6'3", 232-pound undrafted rookie from Northwestern, he brings some intriguing upside. He did have some nice college production, and he had tryouts with the Packers and Commanders. Mueller's 9 sacks, 6 interceptions at Northwestern. I think that highlights a spark plug style, offering Spags a multi-dimensional linebacker to toy with. So these moves signal again the Chiefs' urgency to try to stabilize their front seven, but Carney, Mueller, likely just more practice bodies than anything, as this team is again dealing with injuries, more specifically on the defensive side. But if you want to look at any potential, again, Carney's edge rushing spark, FAU going down, Mueller's coverage and pass rush skills, that could fill gaps here. But again, I want to expect these two to be on the finalized 53-man roster. So again, we're looking at the Chiefs using low-cost moves to shore up a depleted position and add more practice bodies. But again, are we really going to see these guys make a difference on a 53-man roster? Probably not, but this is what the Chiefs are doing right now to try to shore up any kind of gaping holes that they have as they get closer and closer to having to make that cut. But it's not just adding, the Chiefs are also letting go. Again, August 26th roster cuts. That deadline is looming. The Chiefs making some moves again with FAU going down. So with that, they've now cut running back Elijah Young, undrafted former Western Kentucky standout. He faced a steep climb to even make this 53-man roster, and his limited preseason action, just 17 snaps against Arizona and only 7 against Seattle, that basically sealed his fate. His 2 carries for 10 yards against the Seahawks, 0 carries even though he had 17 snaps in the opener, despite 1 target, show that he couldn't crack a crowded running back room. Again, doesn't really excite me, but it is kind of crowded. You have Pacheco, Hunt, Mitchell, and Brashard Smith. 5'10", 198-pound frame, 2024 Western Kentucky production, again, was nice. 883 rushing yards, 47 receptions. It hinted at some potential, but the Chiefs clearly had their running back room set, and they're ready to rock with those 5. There's a, small bit of hope that Young could return to the practice squad if he doesn't sign with someone else, giving Kansas City a chance to develop his dual threat skills. But again, that's just if he doesn't sign. But this could all but solidifies the Chiefs running back pecking order. But again, it raises questions in my head of, can this running back room deal with injuries? Do they have the depth to deal with that? Do we have enough power in that run game? I don't know, especially with Pacheco just having that shaky injury history. So not much to see with Young at the NFL level, but again, if you just look at his last season at Western Kentucky, 883 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns on 201 carries, 47 receptions for 384 yards and 2 touchdowns. So it's become clear now that the Chiefs' decision to cut Elijah Young post this injury, they know who they want in that running back room. We know who they're going to rock with now. So best case scenario for Young, if he wants to even try to get back in this room or even wants to try to get back with the Chiefs and make a Super Bowl run, it is to get back on the practice squad. But he does have some dual threat abilities that I think could be fun to try to develop, and so it would be fun to maybe try to keep him around. But I didn't mention, let's go back to FAU and his injury and what can the Chiefs do? These are Band-Aid, fixes. So you have a guy like FAU out for the season. You have thin depth now. I think Brett Beach might have to swing big, and he might have to try to bring in someone big on a 1-year prove-it deal. He loves doing that, and I think he might be able to do that with Zadarius Smith. Kansas City has a history of snagging some savvy vets: Carlos Dunlap, Melvin Ingram, Terrell Suggs. They do this late in the offseason, or they do it in the midseason. They just know how to plug gaps, and this is something that we've seen him do, so there is some history there. Smith's still a free agent. He brings exactly what the Chiefs need to a rotational edge. 9 sacks, 38 pressures in 2024, versatility to play stand-up nose. He has that 15.9% pressure rate. He's top 10 ranking among edge defenders with 63 total pressures. That's according to PFF. He's still a disruptive force, even if his sack total isn't that elite. So get him on a cap-friendly deal like Dunlap's a few seasons ago. That fits the Chiefs' cap space right now. And he doesn't need to be that guy. If you're sticking with Omenihu, Hearing, Gelati, and Matlack, it's risky for a Super Bowl contending team. But again, Smith has that proven juice. He could be the edge jolt that Kansas City needs to dominate the AFC West. And he's just a veteran edge fit. That Smith's speed to power style, his alignment flexibility, that's going to complement Karlaftis. It's going to complement Jones. It's going to provide situational pass rush pop, and it's going to bring veteran savviness again without breaking the bank. So Brett Beach should look at making the call on Zadarius Smith, whose 2024 production, his scheme fit, make him the perfect kind of Dunlap-style addition to bolster a depleted edge for yet another Super Bowl push. But I've been advocating this, or I've been talking about this potential for probably the past 3 weeks. So if they're not going to do it, I'm not sure if they're going to do it anytime soon. They got to start getting down to 53-man roster. You don't want to just keep adding or keep having competition going on. We'll see what they do. But that is all that I have here for you on this lovely Tuesday. I appreciate all the comments, all the subscriptions, everything that you guys have been doing here for us at Cheifs Latest lately. It's just been a blessing. Let me know in the comments what you think about FAU going down with this injury. And also, let me know if you care about the 2 new additions, if you think they can make an impact on this roster, and if you would want Zadarius Smith on this team. As I mentioned, I am your host, Calvin Silvers. You are listening to Cheifs Latest, and until next time, have a good one.